the Eclipse here, can we create a new project? Okay, for week 9. File, new, Java projects. Let's say CSE114, Spring 16. Week 09 and Lab1. Okay, for today. So now let's create a new class over here. Let's call that, let's do the point first, okay, the simple one. What about just point? Okay, now for the points, again, very easy. So now we're gonna do the following. So let's say we have double x, two attributes, double y. And let's say we have a constructor here, points. So double other, let's say initial value of x, init x, double initial value for y. Okay, so we say x is assigned to initial x, y is assigned to initial y. Okay, so now if you go to go back to the package explorer here, let's create another class. Let's call that point tester with the main method. Okay, so now let's try this. Let's say point P1 is assigned to new points. Let's say 3 and 4. Okay, let's have another point. Point P2 is assigned to new points, 3 and 4. So basically the same location, but they represent two different points objects. Okay, so now you have points P3, another point object, and now it has just distinct location, 5 and 6. Okay, 3 points. So now if I say system.out.print, I can say P1 equals P1. I might just say P1 equals P1, but make sure you actually put parentheses around this to make sure this will be evaluated separately. Okay, you can say print line here. Okay, as we learned from the class today, P1 equals P1 is going to be true because P1 and P1 they refer to the same objects. We're talking about the same address, of course. If you run that, P1 equals P1, true. Okay, what about another one? What about P1 equals P2? And what should that be? P1 equals P2. False? How come?
Because it has a different address.
It has different
address?
Yes, exactly. And then, okay, to be more specific, the reason that P1 and P2 have different addresses is because you can see they are created using two new expressions there. Okay, each new expression is going to give you a new object. Okay, very good. So if you try that, it's going to be false. Okay, not to mention, if you say P2 equals P3, it's going to be false as well because P2 and P3, they are also referring to different objects. It's even more obvious. You can see the numbers are also different, right? Okay, also false. So now we want to have a way to actually compare the contents of the objects. We want to have a way to do that. Okay, a very naive way to do this is as follows. Okay, if we simply say this, P1 and P2 are at, let's just say, oh, it's not very grammatically correct. Just say P1 and P2 the same location. Just make it easy, short. So system.out.println Okay, let's have a Boolean variable here. Just make it clear. So Boolean variable here, let's say P1 equal to P2. Okay, and we'd say that 2 points are equal if their x values and the y values are equal. As I wrote in the class today, you can say P1 dot x equals because it's a double value, so that's why we can use equals P2 dot x, and it's a conjunction P1 dot y equals P2 dot y, and over here we can say something like that. It's P1 and P2 the same location true. Okay, so now tell me something here. If I want to do things like this, what about P2 and P3 in the same location? I know it should be false, but can you write something similar to this? Just another Boolean condition. I want a Boolean condition here, simply just maybe Boolean P2 equal to P3, okay? Equals something here, I'll let you write it. And then I'm going to have system.out.println P2 equal to P3. So now, what should this be? Okay. How should you write it? Okay. P2.x, okay, and then?
Equal to P3 equal P3 dot
Very good.
P2 dot y.
Conjunction, right? Very good. Okay. P2
Dot y.
Mm-hmm.
Equal P3 dot y.
Excellent. Yes. Because somehow we are repeating the code, right? It's really the same. Just the equality, the both sides of equality are different. Okay, so now that's why I said it's a not if way. So you're repeating the code. So every time you oh, maybe let me. Sorry. So every time you find that yourself is repeating the code in your Java class, you should think about making a method out of that. Okay, so now we can see that whenever we try to compare 2 points, we are only concerned about the x and y values, but not their addresses. In this case, we should really factor out this Boolean comparison here into a separate method so we can reuse it. And for comparing the contents of the objects, we should really define an equals method. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So go back to point here. We're going to define an equals method. You can say Boolean is always return a Boolean true or false. Equals. It has to be exactly this name. Okay, equals. And then we're going to compare the context objects and other points. Let's say other or P, doesn't matter. So here, it's going to be something very, very similar to this. Okay, I'm just going to say this. So you can just have a single return. Return this. So now, so you're going to say x and y. Other.x, other.y. Okay, that's the equals method. Which means when you call this equals method here, for example, if I say for example, P1 dot equals P2. If I say this line here, you can imagine that every occurrence of other is going to be replaced by P2, right? And also P1 is a context object. So the x and y here, refers to P1.x and P1.y. Okay, we'll talk more about context object on Friday. Okay? It's a special keyword for Java. Okay, bear with me. So, but for now, that'll be good enough. Okay? The P1 that equals P2, that's what we do. Okay? So now, let's go back to where we were and improve the code. So you go back to point tester here. So now you can simply common this out, for example. So now I can say system.out.println. So now I can say p1 dot equals p2. Okay, similarly, we can also comment this out. Since now we have a method for that, so we can say system.out.println, and we can say p2 dot equals p3. So now if you run it, you'll see that p1 and p2 are in the same location. That's true, 3 and 4. And p2 and p3 not, because one is 3, 4, the other one is 5, 6. Any question about the equals method?
So why do we need the same as equals?
Yeah, that's a good question. So later on, we're going to talk about another more advanced concept called inheritance. So I think for now, please just take it for granted. Yeah, there's a good reason for that, which I would rather not tell you now. That will just confuse you. Yeah. For now, just say that's equals.
But the other name will work though.
The other name will work if you call the right method, but I would say just stick to this for now. Yeah, equals method. Good. Yeah, it's always good to think about why we're doing this, but sometimes you may not want to know exactly why at this stage. Okay, very good. So let's see how much time do we have? 4 minutes. Okay, I think we can do one more example quickly. How about that? Okay, so let's see. Let's do one more. Which one should I do? And I should take no more than 2 minutes to think. Otherwise, we don't have much time left. What about this? What we can do is to put this into the Java. Okay, well, how about this? Let's try to put these 3 classes into the your projects, and then you can simply just copy and you can just follow from the slides how you can do different methods like get the name, get etc. Okay, let's just do this slide here. Okay, that's all we'll do. Okay, that's all I will do. Okay, if we can go to here. Okay, so can we create a new class over here? Class students ID and courses. Okay, string ID and course array courses. We'll create a course class in a moment. And also we have the counter for the number of courses, Okay, so here we're gonna have the student constructor here, which is going to initialize the courses to be an array of course. Let's say no more than 5, for example. And then the number of courses, I can explicitly assign that to 0. Okay. And also we also need a ID. So string new ID. I can say ID is assigned to new ID. Okay. And we're gonna create a course in a moment. Okay. Let's do it now. And then let's create another class here called course. Okay. For the course class, we got title and prof. Okay. String the title of the course and also faculty, the prof. Okay, and now in the course constructor here, we only know the title to begin with. So string, let's say C title, course title. You can say title is assigned to C title. Okay, we don't know the prof yet. So in this case, you gotta say mutated method here to set prof In this case, it's going to be a faculty member F. So here you can say prof is assigned to F. Okay, just a mutated method. Okay. So now let's create a faculty class. Okay, for the faculty, we have name and teaching. String the name of the faculty, and then an array of courses called a teaching. Okay, so now in the constructor of the faculty here, let's say also we got the number of teaching. I'll just number of teaching. Okay, so now we can say that a prof doesn't teach more than, let's say, also 5 courses. New course 5. And also the number of teaching is assigned to 0. Okay, so now let me just implement 2 more methods for you, and then we can do the tester quickly, and then we're done. If you go to the student class over here, the main method we need is called the add course. Okay, we have done that already, so just gonna take a course and then C. In this case, there are two things we're gonna do. We're gonna say courses at position, the number of courses is assigned to C. And also, we're gonna increment the counter, plus plus. Okay? The number, yeah, what's wrong here? Okay, semicolon, sorry. Okay, and let's go to the faculty class. Similarly, we're gonna have also a mutated method here called add teaching, which will also take a course objects. Okay, so similarly, so we're gonna say teaching array at position the number of teaching is assigned to C, and the number of teaching counter should be incremented by 1 after this. Okay, so now finally, let's go back to the project here and have a new class. Let's call that how did I call that? Student management system tester. Okay, student management system tester, and then with the main method. Okay. Okay, let's do this quickly, but that's gonna help you your study. Okay, so now the help we're gonna say course CSE114 is assigned to new course CSE114. Okay, course CSE214 is assigned to new course CSE214. And then we have faculty, myself, let's say, is assigned to new faculty and some name. Let's say CW, that's me, new faculty. So now if I go back to faculty here, yeah, there should be a name. So string faculty name. Name is assigned to F name. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, so you can just go back to faculty class and add that parameter there. So go back to tester here. So now after that we have the faculty.add teaching CSE114. And then also add teaching CSE214. And then we say CSE114 dot set prof to be myself, and then CSE214 dot set prof also here. And then finally, this is students Jin. Assigned to new students and the name of the students. Let's say Jim Davis. Okay, so now let's register the students for 2 courses. Add course CSE114 gym.add course CSE214. Okay, after all these, so now let's try just a few expressions here. Let's say Jim's, let's say title of Jim's first course. Okay, so now we have to say system.out.println. So Jim's first course would be Jim.courses at position 0. Okay, and what's the title of that? Dot title. Okay. Name of the instructor of Jim's second course. So now we're asking not the title, but the name of the instructor. So now you can say, so Jim.courses 1, second course, and now rather than the title dot prof dot name. Okay, one more. What can be title of let me see that. Let me see how can I put this in English. Title of Jim's. Let me write it down. It may not make sense in English. Let me organize my thought. Jim's first course. I'm not sure what might be the better way to put this in English, but let me just write it down for you. Okay, we'll think about a good way. Okay, so now, first of all, the prof is going to be the instructor for this first course. Okay, dot teaching 0 dot title. Okay, you can see first of all we go to the first course of Jim, find out who the instructor is. For that particular instructor, find out what his teaching duty is, and go to the first course he has to teach and find out what the title is. Okay. Okay, I try to give you as much as possible so you can think before Wednesday. Okay, I think that's about it for today. Okay, try to study all the path and all the couple examples. Hopefully this can also get you started with the study on the slides. Okay, thank you. I'll see you on Wednesday.